Hey everybody, it's Nate from LAB Audio Studios here in sunny southeastern Arizona. Just wanted to send this video out to you, all of the engineering nerds out there in music land. We have a very special guest today named Nathan DeRusha. He is a Full Sail University graduate. He is actually completing his master's now, should be finished within the next few weeks or so. So we're very excited to have him on the show. So what we're going to do today is we're going to show you how to properly prepare your tracks to be sent out for mixing. And we will be using Logic Pro today. Really, doesn't matter what DAW you use. You can use Logic Pro, you could use Pro Tools, you could use Cubase. The preparation techniques are pretty much the same. So sit back, enjoy. This will be a great video for all of the tech nerds out there, engineering nerds out there. We're very excited to have Nathan with us on the show today. Again, like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications for LAB Audio channel, and we hope you enjoy this video. Thanks a lot, and take care.
Alright, hey there everybody. So today we're going to do a quick tutorial on how to start prepping your tracks after you're done doing the recording process to get the tracks ready to send to the mix engineer so they can start their work on turning the mix into something cohesive with all the parts and pieces. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to just kind of listen a little bit, just A-B some sections and make sure that everything is good to go. So we want to just go ahead and start right from the beginning. Alright, so far it looks like we've got everything in place and where it's going to be. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start going track by track, and we're going to bounce them out of one program, turn them into WAV files so they can be reassembled in a new project that's clean. It doesn't have a bunch of take folders packed together. We just want each individual one to stand out. So one of the first things that we want to do is we just want to create our locators. So by creating our locators, rather than actually going in and trying to change all the data that we have here, basically what we're going to want to do is we're just going to want to set up a loop section. So basically we have one measure before, so it gives us a little bit of time to ramp up into where the first files are going to start. So as you can see, we've got that one measure ahead. Now there's not going to be any click track or anything like that, because the way that we're going to bounce them out, they're all basically going to start at the same point. We're just going to do each one individually. So one of the first things that I want to do is I want to take all of the tracks and I just want to zero them to the center. And we're going to bounce anything out that we have in mono as mono only, and anything that we need truly in stereo, like keyboards, synth parts, anything like that, we're going to want to go ahead and we're going to leave them as stereo. So basically what I'm doing is just really quickly setting all of the panning just right down the center. This will give the mix engineer the opportunity to put them in the stereo field wherever they need to go. The second thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to go over to where we have all of our subgroups, because I like to mix everything in subgroups, and we're going to turn anything that is stereo into a mono track really quickly. Now I'm just doing kind of a blanket, let's put everything in mono, because one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of the reverb. We don't want to have any reverb on anything right now, because anything that we're bouncing out this way, it's going to get pressed directly to that track. So some of the things we want to keep is guitar patches, especially from the recording process. One of the things that we're doing is we're taking all of those and keeping those decided distortions in. So because we didn't really record anything through amps, everything was done in the software. It's not the same as if you just stick a microphone up to a guitar cabinet and that's the sound we're going through. So just to kind of keep things a little bit easier to manage, it keeps the mix engineer from having to try to find the same distortion that you use from the other tracks. We're going to press it direct to that. However, we are going to get rid of all of the reverbs. So as you can see, I've kind of color-coded the reverbs. And then we've also color-coded all of our subgroups. And then if you have anything else that is on the track, like let's say like choruses, any time-based effects or whatever, those we're going to do selectively. If there's something really creative that happened during the recording phase, we're going to want to leave that in there. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start just right here with our kick. Now we leave our EQs on, we leave some of our compression settings. This is up to the individual user if they want to leave those compressor settings on. For me, I definitely do. I want to keep the compression on. So basically what we do is we just solo the track that we're working with. And then we're going to go use either Command B or come up here to File, and we're going to go down to Bounce, and we're going to bounce the projector section. So here's what's going to start asking me as soon as a pop-up comes in. So we know that our locators are already set. So we just want to make sure that we're bouncing out the right quality sound sample rate and everything. So right now everything's set to 44.1. We're going to go ahead and bounce that up to 96. So that gives us a little bit bigger of a file, but it's also going to give us a little bit better of a sound. As you can see, this is how much space it's going to take on our hard drive. So we're going to hit OK. So right now it's defaulting to bounces. We're going to change that after we change the actual name. So this one is kick out. All right, and we're going to select a different file altogether. Instead of going to bounces, we're going to pick this one, and we're going to go ahead and create a new folder. And we're going to call this folder stems. All right, so now our file is created. So this is where we're going to want to go. And we just hit bounce. So you let the computer do its thing. It's going to bounce it all out. So a lot of this is just time intensive. So just be prepared to block out a pretty serious chunk of time to bounce these out, because what we're also going to do is we're going to go kind of take a listen to these after they bounced out, just to make sure that everything came through, that it, where there's supposed to be data, there's not silence, that sort of thing. So once again, we're just going to kind of zoom through the timeline, and we're going to check to see, did the file bounce correctly? Is everything in there that we need? And here we are finishing up. So we're going to sample rate conversion because we're going from 44.1 to 96K. This is also a little bit longer song too, so we got to bear that in mind. Every project's going to be a little bit different, but you can see how many tracks that we have. Quite a few. All right. Yeah, so we're looking at about 30 tracks that we're doing here. All right, so just to kind of check. Find our Station J folder. We're going to find our Troop 764, and here's our file we created. So I like to open everything with QuickTime. So as you can hear, there's silence. All right, so looks like everything came out great. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to jump to the next one. So pretty simple, right? So we just unsolo that one and we solo the next track. Same thing. So we're going to use our keyboard shortcut, Command B. Opens up our bounce file. All of our digits, usually are the same, but this one we're going to want to double check just to make sure it's 96. Otherwise, we're going to have a sample rate issue as we get down a little bit further. So we hit OK. And this one, we're going to change to kick in. And so the same process happens. We're just going to kind of work our way all the way down through those 30 tracks. Once we get those together, then we're going to open up a completely blank project, and then we're going to import all of our stems. And once again, we're going to do our sample rate conversion. So you'll also know that it's going to do this for every single file. So if you do a bounce and you don't see this pop up, that means you forgot to change it to 96K. Boom. All right. So once again, we're going to go to our folder. All right, now we got to kick in. All right, there we are. All right, so to speed up this little tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bounce everything out, and then I'll see you in the next section.